Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Process of Elimination. It has been a long time, and I'm so sorry. It's also been a long time since I actually sat down and recorded anything. I think about a month, actually. I needed some time off. I am having problems with one of my arms. It makes it hard to, sit with my elbow on the table here. But I figured since I have the Switch, I'll play this game because I can use a controller instead of leaning on the desk. So I figure that's fine. But anyway, we are back in Process of Elimination. It has been a long time. I'm a little bit rusty with it. But I do believe we're actually getting into like the meat of the story now. Like we just um we discover that there's some kind of robots or something outside waiting for us trying to kill us. They killed the number one detective. We saw that. I don't know if she's actually dead. I don't know if I believe she's actually dead, but um yeah, that's what we're doing right now. And we're in the aftermath of that. It's chapter 2. And I believe we're really going to get into like the meat of the game now. So I'm quite excited. Anyway, let's get into it. Doleful Detective and I join the others in the dining room and begin preparing the food. We reheat the soup, lightly toast the baguettes in the oven, and divide the salad between us. We then gather around the table and, following Downtown's lead, dig in. I'm also wondering if we're gonna actually get, like, their real names or not. Because after everything that just happened, I feel like it would be okay to say your real name. Sorry, my hair's caught in this thing. Um, it would be fine to say your real names, right? But I don't know. We'll see, I guess. Seriously incompetent. Ever since we met, I've been like, dude, why is this guy so closed off? As we begin to eat, the topic of my stiff behavior is brought up with everyone. Downtown chimes in while painting her nails. I mean, you're like older than me, so it's kind of weird for you to be so professional, you know? It's not like I do that to you, right? But everyone here has had a longer career as a detective. All I am is the newbie. You worry too much. I'm just a middle schooler and I don't worry about all that junk. Still called senior pops and all that, see? Like you'd ever respect a hierarchy. A wild child like you wouldn't know jack about social stratification. A stratification? No clue what that means, but I like the sound of it. Rowdy detective at your service. Stick with me and I'll send you on a stratification. That just sounds like you're a mobster threatening to put me 6 feet under. I forgot I forgot all the voices. I'm gonna try to remember. But if I give them new ones, oh well. The words you choose matter not. What is of true import is that you respect your fellow man. I, for one, feel that Sir Incompetent does indeed respect me. Nay, all of us. One needn't get in a lather. What? One needn't get in a lather over their manner of speech. I think that feeling matters most as well. We're close in age, so let's keep it casual. It'll be easier that way, right, Incompetent? I guess, but still. Downtown, who is seated next to me, throws her arm around my shoulder as I mumble. Alright, that's that. Next time you act all stuffy with us, Rowdy gets to punch you. Does everything need to have a punishment attached? Is it really that big of a deal? Chill out, dude. We'll let Doleful be a part of this too. Me? But why? 'Cause you do the same thing, duh. You're always all monkey see, monkey do. What's that supposed to mean? Relax. I won't have any trouble smacking you. Don't actually hit me. Doleful cries out with remorse, his voice echoing through the halls of the manor. I like Dolphin a lot. I think he might be my favorite, but I don't know. It could change. It always changes, but... Though I always say that, and my favorite character always ends up dying, so we'll see. Sir Incompetent, you've touched nary a scrap of your supper. Are you unwell? Armor, who is also seated beside me, shoots me a worried glance. It seems he's noticed that I haven't taken so much as a bite yet. I'm fine. Thanks. How could he be fine? He just saw someone die? I know I need to eat, but my body just won't cooperate. One can scarcely blame you for that, after what we've borne witness to. Armor places a hand on his helmet. There's a faint scratch where his temple would be. I guess that means he, like, rubs his temples a lot. Will he ever take off that armor? Could he eat in that? Did the black machine give you that scratch? Oh, never mind. I'm incorrect. It's just because it was from the machine that was killing everybody. Indeed it did. I trowed myself invincible so long as I wore this armature, only to be struck a bitter blow, keeling over. I relied too heavily upon the suit my father crafted. I sought to become the perfect armor, immovable, indestructible, a foolhardy blunder. Armor clenches his fists as he speaks. His steel-wrapped fingers creak, like an anguished moan stifling its despair. When next we meet, I vow that I shall pulverize that blasted contraption. I swear it upon my life, my honor, and my polished suit of silver. Oh, on your honor? Okay, Zuko. You seem composed, but I guess you were shaken up by what happened too, huh? That makes me feel a bit better in a way. It's good to know that there's someone else here who hasn't recovered from Holmes's death. 'Tis not us alone. Armor gestures with his chin toward the others, seated at the table. They may not reveal it upon their faces, but they too feel some degree of shock. They simply force it down for the morrow's sake. Your absent appetite is no cause for reproach, Sir Incompetent. You, a stranger to death, have lost someone dear. 'Tis only natural. Yeah, you're right. Such cheer is intentionally projected, so as to cope with the tragedy we failed to prevent. Anyone who considers death and violence a daily reality has no business calling themselves a detective. Those who are brave, who abhor tragedies and work tirelessly to reverse the damage they cause, those are the true detectives. So too must you steel yourself, Wato. Be a true detective, one who will never give in, no matter what may befall you. Are we hearing her voice in our head? I recall Holmes's words from no more than a few hours ago. She had such high hopes for me, but we were parted for good before I ever had the chance to live up to them. So now there's only one thing I can do. This is no time for me to complain about how hard it is to eat. I lift my spoon, which had been sitting idly this entire time, and slurp up a mouthful of soup. I don't think I'd want to eat after seeing someone die either. I mean, it should taste good. I could smell its aroma. Yet the flavor is cold and lifeless, as if my body is rejecting it. I tense, forcing myself to swallow. Sir Incompetent, is something amiss? You needn't strain yourself. I'm fine. I've got to eat if I want to get strong. Yeah, maybe, but oh my gosh. I mean... I take another sip of the flavorless liquid and shove some bread in my mouth. It's bland and dry, like eating a sponge, but I manage to keep it down. As a survivor, the only thing I can do is follow the lessons our chief has left behind. Holmes, I hope you're watching. So we know that Holmes, who is the number one detective, she um she um she was part of Wato's past. We saw that he remembered her from some mysterious past. I don't know. I guess it'll be revealed, but like that's why another reason why I'm like, is she actually dead? Because she seemed like such this important character, especially for Wato's like character himself. And she died so quickly. I wasn't expecting it. And it just kind of seemed like, is she dead? I guess we'll find out, but yeah, I mean, unless they just killed her for his character development, I mean, that would be something they'd probably do. But it seemed like, I'm trying to remember. I'm sorry. I know it's been so long, and that's my own fault. I'm sorry. It seemed like there was some kind of kidnapping situation going on. Like, they seemed like they were both prisoners, and they were trying to run away from something or someone. But we don't know what that is yet. Tears stream down my face. Whether it's from the stress, the food, or something else, I can't say. I just let them flow as I continue to eat. I swear I'll take down whoever did this. Just you wait and see. And we're also, sorry, it's all coming back to me now. We're in this manor with all these other detectives whose names we don't actually know. And I think one of them is the serial killer. Like there's a killer out there, and I think one of the detectives here is the killer, and we're trying to find out who it is. I think. Thanks for the meal. After chewing it with every fiber of my being, I finally finished my food. But for some reason, when I look around, everyone's eyes are wide, like saucers. Why are they looking at him like that? What's wrong, you guys? What's wrong? Dude, you were just horking that stuff in dead silence while crying up a river. Like, hello? You sure you're alright, bro? If you got something on your mind, just come out and spill the beans. Verily, we are always at the ready to lend you our strength, Sir Incompetent. Sorry to make you all worry. This isn't good. I got so lost in my head that I wasn't paying attention to my surroundings. Getting too worked up about things has always been a bad habit of mine. I let out a deep breath and continued speaking quietly, enough that no one else can hear. According to Holmes, work is the best remedy for sadness, so I'm going to put all of my effort into solving this Quartering Duke case. Now he's talking to himself. You think, even if you're not being loud, they're going to notice you mumbling to yourself. But yeah, I think one of these detectives is the Quartering Duke. Our meal continues quietly, and when I next look at the time, it's already past midnight. Sorry, my hair is caught in all these things. As we tidy up, the formerly tense atmosphere seems to have relaxed quite a bit. Hey, Rowdy. Incompetent. What made you become detectives in the first place? Hell's this coming from? Don't go daydreaming so much that you drop a plate. Rowdy scowls while drying the dinnerware with a surprisingly delicate touch. Downtown snorts as she washes the dishes. It's all good. I'm downtown detective, remember? Communication's like my whole shtick. I'm not gonna drop any plates, unlike Tin for Brains over there. My deepest, sincerest apologies. As I could not assist with the cookery, I only wished to help where I was able. You can't help at all with wearing that suit. Pipe down, air helmet. Just be a good knight and wipe down the table, okay? Understood. Sir Incompetent, I beg your forgiveness for burdening you with the shattered shards of my blunders. It's fine. Cleaning's my special skill, after all. In fact, it was my main responsibility back at the agency. Without me around, the office gets buried under dust and beer cans in no time. I sweep up the broken plate with a broom and dustpan, silently praying that Mr. Gunjoji's taking care of the housework while I'm out. So like I was saying, what made you want to be detectives? These dishes are gonna take some time, and I just gotta know. Meh, it's nothing too special. First person I ever met who was stronger than me was a detective, so I figured I'd become one too. That's all. Even stronger than you, Rowdy? What kind of guy was he? It was a lady, dumbass. A lady. And she hit harder than any thug or gangster. You could say it was love at first punch. Oh my god. Stop. She get punched in the face by someone and fell in love with them? That's hilarious. Ever since, I've been training to beat her and become the strongest detective in the whole wide world. The whole wide world? Even... Isn't that a little sketch, though? You'd better not turn into one of those detectives who does, like, underground fighting. How about you, Incompetent? You seem pretty big into detectives. Like, way more than most. What's the story there? Well... A long time ago, I witnessed my friend's murder. Ever since, I've wanted to become a detective who could protect others. Oh, jeez. Sorry for making you dredge that back up. Oh, no, it's my fault for making things so heavy. I haven't exactly reached that goal yet, so I'm mostly saying this as a way to push myself. That way, I can work towards getting stronger. I don't know. The fact that you can think of it that way tells me you're plenty strong already. Aw. Come again? And nah, ignore me. It's nothing important. Hey, what's the big idea? Making us do all the talking. How about you tell us why you're a detective downtown? Well, all done with the dishes. Tune in next time for the thrilling conclusion. Ooh, she avoided that like the plague. She was like, no, I am not telling you. You don't need to know that. She's like, no, I'm not going to tell you. You don't unlock my backstory until level 3. Funny. I don't know if the audio might be too low. Hold on. I guess that's better. What the? Get back here. Alright. See you guys in the dining room at 7. I eagerly await Sir Mystic's English breakfast. Ugh. Like, what even is English food? All I know is fish and chips or whatever. Their jellied eels are a delicacy, right? Though I'm not sure a girl like you would find it very appetizing. Huh. I'll foogle. I'll foogle it once I'm off the island. If you live off this island. That's a horrible thing to say. I actually like downtown a lot too. Like, I think she's one of my favorites too. I'm bushed. Think I'll head upstairs and shower before turning in. Catch you in the AM. Wait up, Rowdy. I'll come with. We can take a bath together. Oh, I just checked it out and the tub is stupid huge. Meh. Waiting for the bath to free up's drag, so... Sure. I'm fine with you hopping in. Ooh. What? BT dubs? Oh! As soon as I said it out loud, I really... Like, I don't think I've ever seen BT dubs written before. I'm like, what is that? And then I said it, I'm like, oh. Oh, BT dubs? You're sharing a room with Gourmet, right? Do you, like, already know each other or something? Yeah, she's been looking after me for a while now. Rowdy and Downtown head upstairs as they continue chatting together. I want to stay with Doleful. Ah, I've left something in the dining hall. I shall go fetch it. Prithee, retire to your chambers in the meantime. I can't read. I can't. His dialogue is so obviously like it's done like that on purpose, but I have a hard time reading it. I'm sure you of all people will be fine on your own, but um, be careful just in case. Okay? Okay, anything for you. If anything happens, message me on my D-pad. You have our roles reversed. Call upon me in your hour of need, and I shall rush to your aid without hesitation. Rest you merry. We shall meet again in the dining hall when the sun arises. Right. Good night, Armor. my room's on the second floor. So I'll be heading up for now. Hey, Doleful? Thanks for everything today. No, thank you. Well, let's be sure to keep this up tomorrow. Huh? Incompetent, your eyes look red. Are you alright? Oh, I need a hug. Huh. I wonder why. I try to look at my face in the reflection of my D-pad, but I can't make anything out. My eyes must be bloodshot or something. Yeah, you spent the whole dinner crying over your soup. That's why. Oh, you're probably just tired. Go get some rest, okay? No, I need a hug. Give me a hug. Yeah, I will. Night, Doleful. Good night. See you tomorrow. I leave Doleful and head to the first floor room where Holmes was intended to stay. Why would you do that? I exit the room. Oh. Why would I even ask? He's having a time. I exit the room and head down the hall until I reach 3 doors, one of which leads to my accommodations. Now that I'm alone, I finally feel sleepy. My anxiety must be calming down. I'm pretty confident that I'll knock out the second my head hits the pillow. I feel a little guilty using the room meant for Holmes, but I'm grateful all the same. Fighting to stay awake, I open the door. Oh yeah, he's not supposed to be there. He was like an extra person. That's why everyone was so suspicious of him when the older detective was dead. They were all suspicious of him because, like, he's not supposed to be there. But he ended up there anyway. So I think everyone's already a little kind of suspicious that he might be the quartering duke, but he's not, obviously. Unless we are playing as the serial killer. That would be interesting. Pull a donger up another. Who is this? What voice do I do? My goodness me, Wato. You certainly did take your time. Huh? There's no way I should be hearing that voice right now. Who? Gave them a southern accent for some reason. Within the guest room is a large bed. Upon it sits Holmes, smiling gleefully. Oh no. We're being haunted by our dead friends. What is this, a Mori? My goodness me, Wato. You certainly did take your time. I'm relieved to see you've opened up to the other detectives. You're just adaptable as you were in your childhood. Saika. No, it couldn't be. She died right in front of me, I'm sure of it. Drenched in blood, her limbs gashed. It was horrid. A hopeless death. Yeah, I mean, she has a glow. She's glowing, so clearly she's a ghost. You've seen ghosts now. What's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost. Though, to be fair, I am dead, so I suppose that's technically true. From the bed, Holmes gently floats into the air. What's more, her body is slightly translucent, to the point where I can see the wall behind her. Is this a ghost story now? Look at it. Is this a ghost story now? What is this? What is this? What's going on? My drowsiness is gone in an instant, and yet I feel like I'm already dreaming. No, wait. That's it. This is a dream. It has to be. Yeah. I'll just pinch my cheek and... Oh, darn it. I don't have the strength to make it hurt. Really? So he's going like this and it doesn't hurt? I feel like even if you touch it a little bit, you could feel it. So maybe he is dreaming. Maybe I'm just thinking too much into it. Alright, once more. With all my might. Ow, 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 ow. Ouch. This isn't a dream? But how? Oh, now. Why the sudden act of self-harm? Has my absence caused you that much distress? I'd give you a pat for comfort, but I fear I'd just pass right through. How's this, Wato? Can you feel my hand sticking into your head? Huh? Well... evidently not. Oh, what a shame. I was so looking forward to coming up from behind you and giving you a good scare. I tell you, Wato, being a ghost certainly has its inconveniences. What is happening? I didn't know this was a ghost story. E. Ah! Oh dear. No longer able to control myself, I let out an ear-splitting scream. Outside, I can hear what I assume is the pounding of footsteps fast approaching. Everyone's gonna think you're crazy. Sir Incompetent, are you in peril? 'Tis I, Armor Detective, here to protect you. Armor forcefully throws open the door. I slacken at the sight of my friend, sinking to the ground. Armor, look, it's Holmes. Lady Holmes? Where? Where is she? See, no one else can see her. You're going crazy. I deeply regret not bringing my water. I don't have my water bottle and now. Oh, alright. I can go a little longer. Oh, can't you see her? She's right next to you, in front of me. Holmes stands directly before Armor and waves her hands, but he doesn't respond. What in the world could this mean? Is this all just a prank? Is everyone else in on it? Why would they be? Incompetent, you alright, bro? I'll be damned if I allow any more harm to befall my dear comrades. Come, malefactor, thou shalt become rust upon my blade. I know I also gave the workaholic detective the British accent, but I mean, this is the guy who's doing the English breakfast, right? So I feel like he's the one who should be British. They could both be. I like to do it. One person after another files into the room, but none of them notice Holmes. Slowly but surely, the situation I'm in begins to dawn on me. I see. Now I get it. I'm just hallucinating. Hallucinating? So all your screeching moments ago was no cause for alarm? Yeah. I know this is gonna sound silly, but for some reason, I can see Holmes. She's right by your side, Armor. Though you can't actually tell, can you? By my side? Can you hear my voice, Lady Holmes? I've many a query for you. Pray, reveal yourself to me. Ah, yes, I can hear you. It's regrettable that we were unable to finish our discussion, Armor. The ghost has a bitter smile on her troubled face as she apologizes. No matter how much I stare, she really does look just like Holmes. It has to be a delusion born of my guilt. But the level of accuracy is honestly frightening. To think I've become this mentally invested. Sorry for causing a scene. Main thing is, you're safe. Just keep that head screwed on. I've seen this happen out in the wilderness before. Even normal stuff seems freaky when your brain's all jumbled. You'll end up making phantoms out of molehills. Out of what? Girl, come on. Mold hills? Okay. You mean a molehill? Thanks, Rowdy, but I think the expression is making mountains out of molehills. I feel a bit uneasy correcting her mistake. An angry Rowdy is scarier than any phantom. Was it truly just a hallucination, incompetent detective? Huh? Yeah. I think so. Mystic stares me down skeptically. It seems I'm under suspicion, but that's only natural after I gathered everyone here with my screaming, just to write it off as a delusion. I've got to be careful. Even I think my words sound dubious. If this keeps up, I'll lose what trust I have in no time. I'd like to make this clear, since you seem to be mistaken, but I am not a hallucination, you know. Then what is happening? Holmes's face suddenly appears from behind Mystic. Startled as I am, I hide it from my face and whisper quietly to myself. Mind reading too? Yeah, I'm definitely hallucinating. I'm not falling for it. Oh, your face says it all. It's easy to surmise your thoughts even without reading your mind. Though it seems I am, in fact, able to do so. So, like, I can't tell if she's actually her or if she's able to read his mind. Who's to say that she isn't just in his head? You know? Maybe she is just a hallucination that's actually part of his mind, and that's why she can read his mind. Does that make any sense? If you still doubt me, how about I tell you who's sleeping in the room above? I'd wager you don't know the answer to that one. I passed through the walls a moment ago to check. Armor is next door, while Rowdy and Gourmet are above. Care to confirm with them? I don't like the idea of this hallucination manipulating me, but it can't hurt to make sure. She's probably wrong anyway. Time to get this sorted out. So, Rowdy? Armor? Which rooms are you two staying in? Kind of an out-of-the-blue question, but the one right above here. What's it to ya? My chamber is right beside yours. Should you truly encounter a threat, I shall, as ever, hasten to your aid. Pray, set your mind at ease, good sir. Ah, I see. Do you believe me now? Holmes wears the same impish grin she had when she was alive, plus the same face, voice, and so forth. It's enough to make my head spin. My eyes and ears are playing tricks on me. This can't be the real Holmes. She was killed, murdered in cold blood right before my very eyes. You all good there, bro? You're so pale, you look like the inside of an eggplant. Sorry. I guess I really am exhausted. I ought to get a good night's rest. 'Twould be for the best. Weariness oft sets in after a howering or... I can't. It's the old English. I can't do it. Weariness oft sets in after a harrowing ordeal. A detective is right. Incompetent. Your mind has been pushed to its limits. Should it ever be too much to shoulder, you are welcome to confide in me. I shall do my utmost to ease your burden. Oh, Dolphin's here. Are you alright, Incompetent? Still got all your limbs on, dude? Not so much, don't you think? You can clearly tell he's still alive. Posh. The nerve of this common rabble to cause me distress. How deplorable. It took around 15 minutes to explain the situation and apologize to the gathering crowd. Why are we seeing ghosts? After more or less wrapping things up, the others returned to their rooms and left me to my own devices. Or so I thought. She's not going anywhere. That ghostly girl was still in front of me. After correctly locating the others' rooms, I'm starting to believe she's the real deal. If Holmes actually had survived, if I could get the chance to apologize to Saika, I'd be happy beyond words. That be beyond words, huh? I suppose that makes two of us. Reading my mind again. I guess I really am losing it. No need to be hasty. Admittedly, even I don't fully understand the situation, but it seems to be something quite extraordinary. My apologies for giving you such a fright. Allow me to explain from the beginning. Holmes speaks calmly, as if there's nothing out of the ordinary about what's going on. To summarize, I, Psycha Sharonford Holmes, appear to be a residual memory of sorts, or, to put it in simpler terms, a ghost. A ghost? You mean they actually exist? Who can say? While I may be a seasoned detective, I've only been a ghost for 2 hours. I'm just as clueless as you, so please save your inquiries. Since I'm hard-pressed to describe it in any other way, however, I've opted to go with the term residual memory. Isn't that a little careless? Relying on hypotheticals for things you can't explain? I mean... You're a fan of mystery novels, yes? Then surely you're familiar with this Holmes quote. When you have... Sorry, I don't know what that was. When you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth. In other words, once the facts have disproven all other options, that which remains must too be fact, no matter how unrealistic it appears. That line comes from the second Sherlock Holmes story, The Sign of the Four, where Watson is befuddled by a seemingly impenetrable room. I'm gonna admit something, I have never once read a Sherlock Holmes story, ever. Which seems kind of crazy, considering I love to read, studied English in college. Like, it's... Never read it before. So... I mean, obviously I know of it, everybody does, but never read it myself. Watson then notices a possibility he had overlooked, that the criminal had escaped outside without ever touching the floor. A locked room mystery. We see those in Danganronpa. It was a quintessential approach for Holmes, who presented conclusion after conclusion that common sense would never produce. True, Sherlock does seem to deduce truths that seem impossible at a glance. But what does that have to do with this? Sherlock Holmes doesn't make baseless deductions. Rather, he observes the facts, then derives the process from the results to form his hypothesis. As a bearer of his family name, I also practice this method of hypothesis-based inference, known as abductive reasoning. But to conclude... Oh, sorry, that's not her. But to conclude your spirit... It's hard to believe. And yet, the truth has occurred before our very eyes. Progress cannot be made if we avert our eyes from reality. I didn't believe in the paranormal either, but in my current predicament, I can only assume I'm a spirit, or a residual memory, or what have you. My hypothesis may seem far-fetched, but I do hope you're beginning to accept it. Well... There's no arguing with her. I don't have any convincing counter-theories to offer. Given this isn't one big hallucination, there's no other explanation besides what Holmes has proposed. First things first, I need to come to terms with this. That Holmes' spirit really has appeared before me. You're an awfully dour sort, Wato. Holmes lets out a chuckle as I clutch my head in my hands. To be fair, it's only natural to be taken aback when a girl who supposedly died suddenly appears before you. One thing I'd like to note, however, while I may seem calm on the outside, I too am quite bewildered by this turn of events. Wait, really? If anything, she seems more vibrant than when she was alive. That's exactly why I can't let go of my lingering doubts. But of course, by the time I came around, I was already floating above your head. My feet hover above the ground. I can't touch a thing, and no one else can see me. Moreover, it's as if I'm bound to you by an invisible chain. Interesting. Why is she bound to him? Like, even if that is her, and she is, like, actually a spirit of this girl, why would she be bound to him? Do you truly believe I could remain composed given all that? No, there's no way. If I were in your shoes, I wouldn't know what to think. I would have called out to everyone I could find and worked myself into a panic. I couldn't help but call out to you either. Your slight reaction at the time had me thinking you might be able to see me. And so, I've been waiting quietly this whole time to catch you alone. Now that you mention it, I did feel as if I heard your voice in the entrance hall. So it really was you. Forgive me for startling you. I must admit I was nearly at my wit's end by that point. As you all recounted the events, I began to piece together the reality of the situation. That reality being that I had been killed by that black machine. That my physical form was lost, leaving only my consciousness behind. I gulp involuntarily. It isn't simply that Holmes is ordering me to accept reality. Rather, I'm coming to terms with something as complex as death. Despite being the same age, I am once again made aware of how different we are as individuals. Aren't you sad? Huh? Whatever about? About being dead? I mean, you died. You can't come back to life. What's more, you were killed because the rest of us were too useless to help. Stiff upper lip, Wato. Holmes moves delicately toward me. Her stern expression softens as she continues speaking. Whatever the circumstances, let us cherish this reunion. I am no illusion. The two of us are genuinely able to converse with each other. Not even death could sever our bond. What could be more joyous than that? That's kind of creepy. I'm sorry. Maybe it's because, like, I don't know anything about this girl. That's kind of creepy. Why is she severed? Why is she tied to him? Why? Why is she so connected to him that when she dies, she can't leave his side? Like, it has to be more than just their shared past or whatever, right? Because they hadn't seen each other in probably over 10 years. I don't know. It's just, something's weird. Something's weird. Holmes speaks in a quiet tone. Her voice truly is the same one I remember hearing not too long ago. Her expression exudes wisdom and wit, with a tinge of innocence mixed in. The traces of Saika, the girl I've seen so many times in my dreams, grew more and more pronounced. Why is her hair white? Also, I think I might have asked that before. You really are Holmes. That's what I've been insisting this entire time. It truly is me, your dear friend, Saika Sharon Ford Holmes. Sharon Wood. Why did I say it like that? What? Holmes's words move me, albeit belatedly. I was so sure she had died. There were so many things I wanted to tell her. I thought I'd never see her again. But now she's here, smiling before me. That's all I can really ask for. Welcome back, Holmes. It's good to be back, Wato. It doesn't matter if she's a ghost or a residual something or other. Holmes has returned. For now, I'll let myself be happy. Happy that I was able to reunite with someone dear to me. Huh? She's disappearing. Oh my. Have you grown tired? I was going to share my thoughts on why it is I'm bound to you, but I suppose that can wait until tomorrow. Oh yeah, he's falling asleep standing up. Though if you're planning to sleep, you may want to turn off the lights and get into bed. My body phases through everything, so I won't be able to carry you over and tuck you in. Oh, right. I'll do that. I flipped the switch, plunging the room into complete darkness. My drowsiness is quickly overtaking me. I can't fight it off any longer. My eyelids fall shut as I hit the bed. My consciousness grows distant, but I can swear I hear a voice from far away. From here on, your fate will be a cruel one. That's ominous. Give it your very best, Wato. That's ominous. I can hear a voice speaking from somewhere. Are we in jail? It's the voice of a man, echoing angrily in the drab, dusty darkness. Just how many times do you intend to repeat these experiments? I followed along because I believed it was the just thing to do, but this is my limit. This entire organization is rotten, and you're the most putrid rot of all. His outrage bounces off the walls, causing them to tremble. I can tell just how truly furious he is. But what about? Wato, over here. Someone tugs at my hand from behind and I turn around. Are we looking into his past? The one pulling me appears to be a young girl, but I can't make her face out in darkness. Nevertheless, her warmth feels familiar. I know this girl. Is this a glimpse into his past? Were they experimented on? Like, were they like lab rats? Like, where are his parents? Was he kidnapped off the street, or was he... I'm so confused. What's wrong? We need to get out of here quickly before they notice us. Sorry, those voices had me curious. I understand, but escaping is our top priority right now. Come on, hurry! The girl pulls my hand and begins running, but I want to listen longer. As we move, I keep my sight directed towards the sounds. How many have died right in front of me? How many have I killed? Those brats show up in my sleep every night, begging to be spared. I can't take this shit anymore. If you want to keep forcing kids into this, do it yourself. You. No. Everyone is insane, goddammit. You, this organization, the detectives. Every last one of you. Wait. I'm wondering if all of these, like, super top detectives were, like, created. You know, like, molded, so to speak, into what they are. Do all of them have this past too? Were they all in cages? It's everyone who's here. But it seems like the detectives, if not, I don't know. That's what I'm thinking, that maybe they were all, you know, molded into what they are and had their memories wiped or something. But then also, I feel like the detectives of this detective organization, they don't seem to be the good guys, I'm just saying. We enter a dim passageway, and the voices become inaudible. An ice-cold breeze blows through my legs, causing my body to shiver. Freezing. My legs won't move. Or is it that my body is refusing to keep going? An intense pain shoots through my head, and I fall to my knees. I have no idea what's happening to my body, but oddly enough, I'm certain of one thing. Something horrific awaits us ahead. So I'm wondering if like he was, like all the detectives were experimented on. And like there's something going on with the wiring in their head. I don't know what's happening. Wato, are you alright? The girl calls out to me in the darkness. I really can't see her face at all. The touch of her hand is the only indication that she's standing right in front of me. It's alright. We'll definitely make home. Once we're back, we... Huh? Her voice cuts in and out like a radio with a weak signal. Before long, the warmth of her hand is gone. Is she in his head? He's alone right now, isn't he? Wait! Panicking, I dash further into the passage, as if I were chasing after her. My frenzied footfalls ring out through the impenetrable darkness. The voices I had heard earlier are gone. A feeling of complete and utter isolation washes over me, like I'm the only person left on Earth. I can't help but cry out. Don't go! Please, don't leave me alone! As I continue on, a light appears ahead of me. I run toward it with all my strength. I run. And run. Until ahead of me, I see the familiar sight of the entrance hall. Wait, this is... He's sleepwalking? What happened to the passageway I'd just been running down? Where's the girl who was with me? Why am I in the manor? Did I somehow arrive here at some point? The inside of my head burns with agony. I can't shake the feeling that something terrible is happening. At ease, Wato. This is... Oh, sorry, that's ideal. At ease, Wato. This is all to be expected. Holmes descends the staircase from the second floor. I'm relieved to finally see a friendly face. She's not a ghost anymore? Holmes, what's going on with me? Now, calm yourself. Take a deep breath and take your time to remember. As instructed, I take a deep breath and try to recall what had happened. That's right. After I bumped into Holmes' spirit in my room, we spoke until I got sleepy. Wait, am I in a dream? That must be it. You're half right. And half wrong. Ouch. I yelp as Holmes flicks my forehead. Huh? That hurt? What the... If this is a dream, why can I feel pain? Our minds are closely intertwined, it seems. I can read your thoughts, enter your dreams, and even interfere with your perception. That sounds vaguely threatening. that doesn't sound like, ooh, hee hee hee. Like, you know, a friendly. No, that sounds vaguely threatening. I don't trust her. I'm sorry. Interfere with my perception? Simply put, I am able to touch and hurt you. See, why would she say that? Why would she say, I'm able to hurt you? If you don't believe me, shall I give that thick skull of yours another smack? See, now she's being kind of mean. Like, she's kind of... I get it, really. I do. Your reprimands get physical when you're in my dreams. That's not... Why is she smiling so creepily? Look at her creepy face. Ugh. I don't trust her. Precisely. Oh, such a clever boy deserves a pat rather than a punch. No. She lays a hand on my head as she speaks. Her kind touch reminds me of how lifelike Holmes seems right now. Of course, the situation is objectively unreal. I'm a bit ashamed at how easily I'm willing to believe any of this is true. Now then, Wato, this is the important part. What do you make of this scene before you? I make that you are terrifying and I want you to go away. That's what I make of this scene. I don't trust, white hair on your head. What do I make of it? This is the entrance hall to the manor, exactly as I've known it. The level of detail is almost too incredible to be a dream. It's hard to not be impressed at my mind for making it. Ugh, I don't trust this girl and her hydrangea-colored eyes. I don't notice anything in particular. Is there something here? As I thought. You still lack the proper foresight. Every time she talks to him with that creepy smile, it gives me the chills. Holmes takes my hand and walks toward the entrance, pulling me along. Wato, the deep connection in our psyches share has resulted in a major changes to your brain. In more concrete terms, I've no doubt that you've gained access to this special ability I possessed while I was alive. Oh, is that just there for plot convenience to make him stronger than he was before and smarter? Special ability? What ability? My head's been pounding for a while, but I haven't noticed any changes to my body. I wonder. Can you feel anything at your feet? Huh? My feet? Now that she mentions it, I do feel something touching my foot. I look down to inspect it. And what I see is... What? I finally process what's touching me. It's Downtown's arm. Stiff like a porcelain doll. Her hand is coated in a dark liquid, leaving a crimson-red handprint where she made contact. Huh? I heave as the metallic stench hits my nose. But since it's a dream, I have nothing in my stomach to vomit out. Huh? Everyone's dead? It isn't just Downtown Detective. The other detectives I've met lie in a heap upon the floor, like figurines toppled from a shelf. Among them is Doleful, prone and lifeless. Rowdy's hand stretches toward me as she foams at the mouth, her eyes rolled up and unmoving. What am I seeing zombies? What is this? Doleful. Everyone. I rush to Doleful and check for a pulse. I feel nothing. No, not my best Doleful. I hear no voices, no breathing aside from my own. Not one of them is showing even a single sign of life. Downtown's face, which usually wore such a carefree smile, is frozen and contorted in anguish as blood still trickles down it. She was so full of energy just last night. The thought brings me to tears. It's unforgivable. Who could do something so horrendous? There goes my voice. Seems you too have now seen how this tragedy plays out. I'm sorry. Wait, hold on a second. Hold on. Hold the phone. You're trying to tell me that she has the ability to see into the future, and we just saw a possible outcome if we don't catch this killer or whatever, everybody dies? Are we the killer? Is she the killer? Oh my god. Holmes walks over to me as I stand rooted in place. Upon seeing her face, I'm finally able to regain some composure. Silly me, getting all worked up. This is just a dream, right? These people outshine me in every way. They would never get massacred like this. Oh, at the risk of repeating myself, you're half right and half wrong. This is a dream, but also not. Look at her. I don't trust her. She's gonna be with us this whole time, and I don't trust her at all. Ugh, she gives me the creeps. What is that supposed to mean? Please, just tell me outright, Holmes. Holmes flashes her coldest smile yet. The tone of her voice as she answers sends shivers down my spine. This is a tragedy that could occur in the future. You have gained the ability to foresee such events. So creepy. So he can see possible futures or something. I wake up on my bed. The morning sun shines through the window, filling the dusky room with light. My whole body is soaked from night sweats. But despite just waking up, my wits remain sharp. It feels like I was sleeping and feels less like I was sleeping and more like I simply opened my eyes. Was that all a dream? My hands tremble as the tragic scene I had witnessed moments ago flashes through my mind. I was definitely there just now. I saw Downtown Detective's corpse. My hands soaked in blood. It felt far too real to be a dream. See, if his hands were soaked, does that mean he's the killer? He saw a possible future where he killed everybody? Could that really have been a potential future tragedy, like Holmes said? Oh, that's right. Holmes. Holmes! Holmes and I had been speaking in my dream, but now she's nowhere to be seen. I calm down, and my confusion begins to fade. As it does, the absurd events that took place when I entered this room, not to mention in my sleep, feel more and more like an illusion. That's right. Holmes died. Everything that happened last night, including me talking to her, it was all just in my head. After all, there's no way someone who died could reappear as a ghost right before my eyes. Good morning, Wato. I do hope your dreams were pleasant. Holmes's body pops out of the ceiling. I suppress my shrieking before another manages to burst out. Talk about a close one. I was on the brink of getting the other detectives all worried about me again. Did you really have to fly out of the ceiling? Oh, I was merely checking on the others on the upper floor. Poor May has a funny way of sleeping. Here to hear about it. No thanks. Peeping into women's rooms is a great way to get decommissioned as a detective, Holmes. Oh, my. You certainly lack a sense of romantic adventure for one so young. As a ghost, it's only natural to peep on people here and there. Forgive me. After the graphic premonition you witnessed, I thought a little surprise might be a welcome diversion. I appreciate the thought. I suppose Holmes's prank did distract me from my mental panic somewhat. I recall what I saw in my dream with a clear mind. All of the detectives dead on the floor. The stench of blood, their faces contorted in anguish. And Holmes warning me that the future holds this cat. What? I can't. Why can't I read? Okay, I'm going to start over. And Holmes warning me that the future holds this catastrophe in store. Holmes, do you remember what we talked about in my dream? Of course I remember. As I said, I can read your mind, so I know what you're thinking right at this moment. You refuse to believe it, don't you? Ah, enough of that. Everything we spoke of during that dream is true. Now, you're aware of the denouement, the ability I had to predict the future. And as we saw, the predicted future we face is death for all. Hee hee, look at her smiling, talking about how everyone's gonna die. Predict the future? Come on. How would that even work? And why do I have this ability all of a sudden? My brain can't keep up with this. Ah, yes, well, I can't say I understand the principles behind it myself. You can't? Then how? When a thing comes naturally, you don't question the process behind it, do you? You breathe, but can you explain how your body takes in oxygen? No, I can't, but... Exactly. The same goes for my denouement. What matters is that it allows me to see the future. I have no interest in how it works. Huh. That's one way to go about it. I get the feeling that I've been tricked by her silver tongue. Or is that just my imagination? Of course you have. She's evil. I don't know if she's actually evil, but I think she might be. I don't trust her. At any rate, don't you think we should set our minds on a much higher priority right now? Huh? What higher priority would that be? If and how we can prevent the tragedy you glimpsed, of course. Her words give me a start. Right. There's no time to despair. Not after the tragedy I've foreseen. Right now, I need to figure out what I can do to change that outcome. But how would I even start? Is it possible to change whatever future this denouement ability predicts? Naturally. Predicting and preemptively stopping tragedies is how my reputation grew to begin with. If you act with conviction, I'm confident that you too can alter fate's design. But I'm just a total nobody. What difference could I even make? Honestly, I'm not so sure. Even outside of her ability, Holmes was an incredibly gifted person. But me? Incompetent is literally my name. There's no way I'd have the power to change the future on my own. There's no need to change it on your own. What? How did you know what I was... Oh. How many times must I remind you that I can read your thoughts? A single pebble can tip a scale. Are you familiar with the saying? Many presume their deeds are of no consequence, but they couldn't be more wrong. Even the smallest ripple will disturb the water's surface, in turn leading to other shifts elsewhere. So too will the ripples you take cause others to act, thereby playing a greater role in changing the future than they otherwise could have. Is that how it works? That is indeed how it works. So we can work together to change the future, okay. Her eloquent words still seem to be leading me on, but I'll trust her for now. Either way, I wasn't planning to stand idly by. What's more, changing the actions of others will be the key to changing the future. Changing their actions? But how? There are several ways. Those who trust you can simply be asked to adjust. Those who are hostile, however, maybe need to be forced into doing so. So is this kind of getting into another mechanic of the game where I'm going to have to make people trust me? Because I don't know how that's going to work. Apart from that, it would probably be advantageous to save those detectives who are fated to die. But what I saw, there's no way that could actually happen. Couldn't it? I've not been in this manor much, and there are many potential traps. A killer privy to this could easily use that against you. As I said, the mastermind behind this is both prepared and frightfully cunning. Be ready to force a path through, no matter what happens. That way, you will avoid repeating my mistake. These words weigh especially heavy, coming from the now deceased Holmes. I need to get myself together. Being reunited with Holmes has made me just a little too lax. Even she was no match for this adversary. I need to put my game face on if I'm going to tackle this. I'm sorry, Holmes. I promise to take your words to heart. That's the spirit, Wato. There's just one more thing I want from you. I want you to die. Holmes's face grows stern as she speaks with a strong voice and clipped tones that I've never heard her use before. Under no circumstances are you to tell anyone that you can see me, or that you've inherited my abilities. Why not? It wouldn't be easy to convince them, but if we prove it's true, wouldn't that make everything so much simpler? If anyone finds out, you're certain to be eliminated, Wato. I will explain why in time, but for now, please do as I say. So, like, the killer eliminated her early on because her ability to predict the future? Ah, I do believe you have visitors. And just then, someone knocks on the door, and just then I'm going to wrap up this part here. I know that it's shorter. It's shorter than usual. I know that. I had originally said that I was going to do 2 hours each for these episodes, but it's hot in here. And I think this is a good place to end it. We got like a big chunk of stuff going on. There's many more questions than answers at this point, let's be honest. But I think that this is a good place to stop it for now. I will be playing this more often. Like I got my Switch connected. It took me forever to get it to work, but it's working. Hopefully it continues to work. And I hope to play this game more often and get to the end of it, because I do really like this story. I like the characters probably more than the story, to be completely honest. Like, I love Dolville and Downtown. They're my favorite, I think. I don't trust Holmes at all. But yeah. I'm very nervous about the investigation mini games that the game has, solely because I was so bad at it last time, and even now I don't remember how to do it at all. So we'll find out how that works. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry it took me so long to continue with this story, but I do hope to continue it now as time goes on. Hopefully like one episode a week. You'd probably run an hour and a half long each. They might get to 2 hours, they might not. It really depends on how I'm feeling. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.